Good evening, Speed Gaming, and welcome to the first of the SG Live 2021 Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Qualifiers. I'm Leslie Bro, and I am joined tonight by Maddie J316. How you doing tonight, Maddie?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has
It's
been,
been a
no doubt
while.
about that. So, what we've got going on for this and the next few weeks is we have qualifiers for the Mario 3 Randomizer tournament that'll be held at Speed Gaming Live, which is an online only event this year.
For
Now,
more
our
than obvious
runners,
reasons.
yeah, well, we'll leave it at
We're
that
not
for
going to go
now.
too much. We've been told to drop the flag, by the way. I don't know if you want to do that or not.
Doing it.
The flag and race. There you go. Flag's been
It's
dropped
been
in
a
a few
while
seconds.
for
We're
me
going to see
too.
some people do some speed gaming.
So what we got here is our runners that are in the race. They've got to be in 2 of the 4 qualifiers for a spot at SG Live. And for now, we focus on the qualifiers. Like, I believe this is old school Flags 2, if memory serves me. Hey, it's been a while for all of us here.
And race is off on race time GG. So these 4 gentlemen, Pro A007, Mini Guy DP, Human Mustard, and DLP 316. There's another 316. And here we go with the race afoot with World 6. By the way, in the chat, if you want to play along, all the worlds have been randomized, so we don't know where we're starting. You can claim the next world all you want. Doing some pipe checks, nothing too fancy here. We're going straight to a castle to kick us off.
Oh, and Mini Guy got too close and got stomped by the thwomp. Back to start.
Whoops.
Well, first level, just shake it off. Now, 5F1 is generally a good speedrunning level, but with the randomized rotodiscs rotations,
which is a new thing, by the
slower.
way.
Oh, the Sledge Brother gets Human Mustard.
Sledge Brothers can't take down Human Mustard. This is going to be one of those seasons.
Uh-oh, Sledge Brothers causing trouble. This
DLP as
DLP,
well, yeah.
Mustard gets revenge. The prize is a cloud. Very helpful item because
we got a cloud early, and we got a mushroom
level.
house check with a mushroom, so nothing, not too bad at least.
Speaking of mushrooms, DLP just got one, and Pro A finding 7-6, a level that typically you would clip, and because of that, opts to take
but
100
you
coin
can clip, but you got to be a big dude to do it. So Pro A doing the 100 coin toll for obvious reasons, just to get that mushy and get that clip.
Which DLP is going for. Human Mustard gets
Pro A got it.
And Pro A DLP getting it back to back, while Mini Guy also getting eaten.
Yeah, try, I believe, went for a try. Does he have a mushroom? He'll make a check. Human Mustard getting a leaf. Not the best, but worse things have been given.
Mini Guy got a fire flower. Now, it's worth noting that tail makes this clip, as well as other clips, sub-pixel perfect. It's not just it makes it harder with the tail, it makes it harder to the sub-pixel. Now, what Human Mustard can do here, he actually has just enough space to be able to build up P-speed and fly up and over if he were to so choose. Now, I've only seen this strat done once, but I know it's doable.
It is doable. Obviously, he's just going for the clip, but obviously with the tail, it is much more difficult. So that's why a lot of people are we're happy to see a flower or a mushroom. Human Mustard giving up on the strat. Looks like he'll have to do the level vanilla. That's going to but I'm just a little bit behind.
Meanwhile, we've got 3-2 with Raccoon Tail strats from DLP and Pro 007. I like those strats for 3-2 because, yeah, you get a little bit of backup in case you miss a jump.
The good news here, and for those who have just joined us, it's been a while since we had a Mario 3 race on Saturday. So for those wondering what the heck is going on here, this is Mario 3 randomized. It's good old Mario Brothers 3, but everything's been mixed up. All the levels have been mixed up, and auto-scrollers, all but 2 auto-scrollers have been de-auto-scrolled for your speedrunning pleasure. We'll get to those if we get to them.
We'll that was World 1 Fort that DLP is in, and Pro A just finished up. Now,
and for those wondering about DLP, he just found the Fort 1, got an anchor out of there. The anchor, obviously, airships haven't stopped. So, anchor is a wild card because the anchor would stop the airship, but the airship is already, it's not in use. So, we're keeping it simple. And it is a wild card. It is randomized, so it could be anything, but it'll be the same thing if you get more than 1 anchor.
Also worth noting that the logic involving the World 1 Fort, logic always assumes you're going to go for the item, so that lock is never going to be explicitly in your path, but it could be in an inconvenient spot.
And I believe in Flags 2, the lock is breakable by hammer.
Yes, but that can be turned off. We tend to call that a bracket flag feature.
So and this is not a bracket flag, so hammers can break rocks and locks, but they do not build bridges. You have to beat the level to build that bridge.
And our shrimp is only 1 HP for a second. I thought Pro was going to try and charge up P-Speed and try to fly up. But that I have contested myself, and I can tell you that is a very difficult strat that requires very precise movement. You do not have a lot of wiggle room. So maybe Troy felt he didn't have it.
Not exactly a marathon / race safe strat, but we have World 5 coming up.
2 forts
and the world's worst fortress to kick it off.
Let's just say Rando is pulling no punches right now.
And this is a qualifier on the live version on stage, so yeah. Of course, Randomizer will go, we'll make it as difficult as possible.
This is where even the best of runners can have trouble, because a missed jump and eaten input, and you could easily be taking a lava bath. So this level is a little nerve-wracking, even for those of us who've played the game over a span of many years.
Yeah, this fort is where runs go to die. Usually, you gotta be real good at running this, and so far, so good. And
Pro is wanting to keep that fire flower. I don't blame him, because the fire kill on Boom Boom is much faster than 3 stomps. And he kept it. Nicely done.
Very nice.
And of our 4 featured runners, DLP is the first out of 7 F2. Goes to check the pipe. I like this strat.
We got the audio, and I like. Excuse DLP as he kisses the sky. He's got a couple of things to take care of first, including a fort, which he'll take care of right now. We have Fort Knox.
You just absolutely called that and went in with the right power-up. So did Pro A, and Midi Guy already had the tail. So 3 of our 4 featured runners have picked 7F1 out of a crowd. Wow.
Folks, if you ain't hype right now, you should be.
I mean, I know that a lot of times the forts that go between worlds get linked from time to time. Yeah, that's definitely what happened here. It's not guaranteed to happen, but it will happen. Meanwhile,
basically,
DLP is in a spot.
Our runners are going through a slice of HE double hockey sticks before they reach the sky in Valhalla. And 8-2 is featured next, so that's a thing. Spiral Fort, and for those wondering why Spiral Fort is up there, feature in the early goings of Randomizer, you have to do the Spiral Fort no matter what to get to the sky. That's obviously been changed, so the pipe randomization is there, so all you have to do is literally just pick a pipe, and if it takes you to the sky, there you go. It takes you to the sky.
And we
in
also
this particular case, you just have to beat a fort to, unlock everything else.
Yeah, that you do. And Human Mustard doesn't make it 4 for 4. Goes in without a tail, so he's going to have to do this P-switch puzzle to get a Tanuki suit. This is one level where power
we got a hammer on
randomized,
DLP side
and
with a
the
hammer
guy
brother.
goes down in 5-8.
And DLP picks up a hammer from the Hammer Brothers, brah. We'll have an extra hammer that could break a rock and lock, so that element of strategy could come into play. And for those wondering what the dealie is here, well, hi, Boss Bass on Pro A's side. Hi, Boss Bass.
Boss Bass can be mean as they come at times. And in this case, it's a Boss Bass out of nowhere. These levels are not guaranteed to have Boss Bass at the start of a level. It could pop up mid-level. And if you're on a lower path, like in 6-1, and you don't jump in time, go up, back to start.
Nom, 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 good Mario, nom. But of course, the way that the point of the race is pretty simple. It's warpless, so you have to beat every castle to get to World 8. And to get to World 8 to find the keep, to find the Koopa and kill the Koopa. You kill the Koopa, you win the race, you win the game, you win the race, you win the game first. I've been rusty, folks. Rusty as can be, but the point is to beat the game first to win the race and qualify for a spot in.
Oh no, Mini Guy missed the jump on the screws, and that is a longer drop than when the auto scrollers are on. So that is a painful back to start. Human Mustard is going to be able to catch up.
And not only that, that's a time loss too.
That's a big time loss of a good 10, 15, 20 seconds. Meanwhile, Pro A, first of our 4 runners through. That is a Tanuki suit, and that is World 1 with a lock.
With a configuration that's actually speedrun friendly here.
Yeah, World 1 is one of those worlds where it can be friendly or it can be a noun. Today, it was friendly. And yes, this is warpless with randomized worlds. So right now our order is 6-5-1.
With 2, 3, 4, and 7 left to race. Of course, World 8 is the final world because you have to beat the game the way it is intended, of course. Everything else, randomized. And we have a lot of Humongo Bros and more hammers for Human Mustard here. Of course, the gift in the letter is randomized as well. That's a Tanuki suit, which could come in handy.
Not too many other levels that necessitate flight, so it might just be a power-up that gets used off of a death, potentially.
Could be useful. It could be useful for damage boosting as well. Not every level is good for flight, but it is handy, as mentioned before. More World 6 action with the levels here.
Mustard is on to World 3. I wonder if he'll be aggressive with the hammer or if he'll go into the fort. Because he's got to be feeling behind at this point.
By the way, Roy was a vanilla Roy. For those who,
yep,
I mean, well, somebody in the chat brought it up. That is true.
EP.
Roy's got, good thing it was big on this one. The water can be very dangerous if you're not careful. Music box in the gift. And on to another airship. Let's play a game in the chat. Folks, we have World 6, World 5, and 1 are out. Which world is next? Could use a P speed as well. Ooh, one hit.
Wow, one hit, but Pro ain't nowhere near able to set up for that particular fly. And what I'm referencing here is if you're able to fly up, you got a couple of pixels to where you can grab the wand off screen, and if done correctly, Mario screen wraps
the cutscene. You skip the falling sky cutscene. You can't do it with every world, but if you can pull it off in some world, that is a big time save.
Yeah, you save 4 seconds per successful attempt in a particular seed. So
a lot of 3, a lot of 4. We have a mushroom, and World 7. The maze is what we have left to wrap up the front half of the game.
And it's 5-1
to kick us off.
Now there is a hidden power up here, but you generally don't see runners go for it because it's pretty far out of the way. It's generally fast to go up and over and hit the goal.
It's one of those, it's one of those things where if it is a risk reward kind of situation, and a lot of runners just go through World 5 the way you would speed run it and just go on. It's very rare that it is worth the risk.
Yeah, I think the
At
only
least in a
category,
time-sensitive situation.
It's worth noting that the only category that would even consider going for it would be the all P-switch category. But more on that in a moment, as we have got a lock and a bridge, and the bridge needs to be built as Mustard aggressively goes through the rest of Grassland using a cloud and a music box to get right
the super tank is the fort. For those wondering, anything that contains an orb is considered a fort and part of the fort rotation, as opposed to the regular tanks level in World 8. That is an action level as you just defeat a Hammer Brother. That just ends the level, so it is part of the action level pool.
Okay, that didn't break the lock guarding the 6 action panels, so could that have done it? No,
but we have found the Isle of Happiness. We just need to find the fort that brings the bridge together.
There's 2 forts on that particular part, so will it be door 6, fort 3, F1?
We have the 3F1 to contend with. No third door attempt by Pro-A.
Yeah, for those wondering what third door is, you go into the third door, which pops you out below where Pro-A just entered for Boom Boom. You have a 1-frame window to get an up tap off, and if you're successful, Mario goes back in the door, right to Boom Boom.
And looks that... Ooh, I heard that. Did you hear that?
Oh, I
might have built it.
Oh, that built it, no doubt. And how do I know it? That lock is still there. And Mustard is actually in the correct fort. This is actually going to catch him up as MIDI Guy is seeing the anchor, and it is a cloud. And unfortunately for MIDI Guy, that's going to put him behind, as this is not the correct fort.
Yeah. And that'll force him to complete it now as well. Because you'll have to complete that, then complete the right fort. That puts him behind.
Yeah, well, it's better to complete 1 wrong fort than 2 wrong forts. Oh, and Ludwig's heavy too. With 5 hits.
Ooh, there it is. There's the 5th hitter. Someone ate a jumbo pizza. Folks in the chat, which world is next?
I was about to say Ludwig ate a jumbo burger.
Oh, I thought that was Wendy that does the extra Wendy's.
Not today, apparently. Could still be full health, but we'll see that. Will World 3 be next? Who knows?
We're about to find out. Some people calling for World 4. I'm thinking World 4 myself. We're about to find out. In the letter for this one, nothing. World 2.
We don't know it yet until we open the item menu.
And, well, this is pretty simple. That fort will break that lock. And we have the
Navy.
Navy.
It's the Navy.
So far, things seem straightforward as far as the only thing that was a bit of a maze was, ironically, World 7, which is the pipe maze usually. So far, everything's been straightforward.
But yeah, based off of playing the correct fort, Human Mustard has jumped up into 3rd place and really closed the gap.
And 1-2 is is on the screen now.
And a fire snake to greet our runners. So there are fire enemies abound. Ooh, Proe gets picked off by the Paragoomba. Those Goombas are about as good at picking you off as Malcolm Butler is at the 1-yard line.
Ooh. I actually got that football joke.
Well, to be fair, he's also retired now, so it's one of a career of the past. Just saying.
Yeah. Back to this race here. It's an even one now. Proe is a little bit ahead, but just by it is a lead at this point. And Human Mustard, some smart strategery. I apologize. Some smart strategy got him scored. We got 7-1. And Proe is attempting the clip. No mac and cheese.
This clip is a bit more finicky. You don't need a perfect subpixel. It's more lenient than if you had a tail, but it can still be aggravating.
It's usually more doable in Rando. There it is. You just got to be very careful.
Oh, and Human Mustard gets its 2nd try, putting him right on Proe's heels.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a race between Mustard and Proe. So far, anyway. More hammers.
One that Human Mustard skipped, so he temporarily jumped ahead. But
it depends on what's forward. You can break the lock. I believe that the racers are aware of that.
Meanwhile, DLP's already through the world, and a wild Tanuki appears. Command!
And there's your World 4. This race, back and forth. These are 4 of the best runners of this rando on screen right now. So, obviously, the action's hot on heavy and back and forth seesaw action here. Midi guys still having trouble with the clip. Got the right speed. He just got
271, but this clip can really be a determining factor in time difference.
For those wondering, in DLP screen, you see a level design that was made for World 1, but it was never fully put in. So the randomizer has put it in. Oh, we got a coin boat. We got a coin boat right here.
Yeah, the coin ship does appear in the vanilla game.
It is the auto scroll.
Hammer Bros show up.
It's just extra coins and a couple of Boomerang Brothers to contend with, thankfully.
And we got Human Mustard going backstage here.
Behind
this is an item for how you get a warp whistle in vanilla.
Now, obviously, the whistles have been removed for the warpless here, so it's just gonna be just another mushroom.
Well, with no end cards, that'll really come in handy.
Yeah, no end cards. Usually there would be end cards, but they've been in Flags 2, they have been removed. Typically, not a lot of people use the end cards. They usually skip it. There's a few of us who do use it. I don't stream it. I do use it myself. Because while I am decent at this game, I'm not this level of speedrunner yet.
Oh, we get a 7-9 with a boss bass sighting on Human Mustard's side. Good thing he's got
to make things a little interesting.
Because you can get enough enemies on the screen where you can't grab the block at all. That's more of a NES sprite limitation thing, and nothing to do with the randomizer itself. Oh my! Boss Bass getting Human Mustard like an RKO out of nowhere!
I got a better one. Boss Bass went, where do you think you're going? Nom nom nom. Yes, 2017 references. I has them. Anyway.
Oh, we all got the references. Meanwhile, DLP, using a cloud music box, pulls out a P-Wing for the airship, and it's the World 1 airship. Everyone who's played this rando has probably done this at one point or another, I would know.
Guilty.
Yep, but with the P-Wing, you do get a shot at going... Oh, I was about to say a shot at off-screen wand grab. But DLP got hitboxed by the Koopaling, which is one way...
Hitbox, unfortunately.
Yep, that's one way this game can rubber band. Oh my, we got a long walk here on Pro A's side.
Long walk, but he uses the cloud. Arms up the Tanuki suit. What's next? What's the next world, folks? We're up to the last two, I think.
Yeah, this being World 6, that means it's World 3 in our final slot, and then World 8. DLP with a slight lead.
There's
here.
World 3. And the fortress we'll get before we get 2 pipe checks.
And it's the Dark Door Maze, World 8 for it. A level that will confuse many a first-time player, but for those who've been around this game and know the rando, it's not going to be much of a trouble, except maybe...
It's a fun for it. It tests you.
Yeah, this one really does test you, because it's a maze. It's called Dark Door Maze, because it's in the dark, there's a lot, and it's a literal door maze. Now, the reason DLP pulled up and didn't go for the 1 cycle is because he knew he was not going to make it, so it actually made more sense to save time by just backing off and being ready to hit the P-switch.
There is a skip doable. Some people are very comfortable doing that skip. Some people prefer the long way. It does save them time in certain cases. By the way, for those wanting the order, 6, 5, 1, 7, 2, 4, and 6. Those are your winning lottery numbers,
2, 4, 3, you mean?
2, 4, 3. Yeah. Whoops.
Meanwhile, we are checking pipes to see which one is the correct pipe. And it's not that one. And double hammer, a strat that a few runners in this community like to do in World 3. Not viable today.
Not viable. And obviously, if you look at DLP screen, here's a level you'll only see in Randomizer. This is one of the beta levels that was discovered in the code. So they've been putting
there are 9 such levels in the code that were finished up and implemented into the randomizer by the creator, F. Coughlin. And DLP is a 3-8. Boss Bass is home, but Boss Bass is currently on a road trip. Please leave your mail at the mailbox, which in this case is Coral.
Sorry, I have to. DLP in a lead right now, obviously between Pro and Human Mustard. It's a close race. Mini Guy not too far behind, opting to get a 5-star frog splash for some extra lives, or not opting. I guess it just happened to be.
Now, Pro did opt for the double hammer strat. He is a runner that loves to double hammer in World 3 when possible.
By the way, I should correct myself. It's between Mini Guy and Pro and Human Mustard. A little bit behind, but not too far, though.
Yes, Mustard is about to be done with World 6. Soon to be joining our runners in World 3. And he's not that far behind, because this World 3 is a bit of a mess.
And Human Mustard got caught with the hitbox as well.
Now, without a tail, you have to set up the hidden note blocks. You can actually pull off a very cool-looking clip if you hit the underside of the note blocks just right. It's a clip that another runner of the community, Sharky2107, showed me. And if you can hit it, it looks really cool. Pro A not going for it here, as it is a race situation. Not just a race situation, a qualifier as well.
And obviously, World Free decided to be the long way around. There is a situation where you could grab a pipe. In the old randomizer, where only the level inside the maps are randomized, not the actual parts of the level. And there was a pipe check at the very beginning of World 3. You check that pipe, it could get you directly to Wendy's Island.
We call that World 3, as Pro is in 6F1, and DLP finishes Wendy off just like that. First one into World
A. That could have
A.
been a 1 or 2 hitter, because I believe one hit is 6 hits of the fire.
No, that's not randomized. It's still 10 fireballs, regardless of how many stops. Also, hello from the World 4 airship.
And by the way, a lot of people are already asking how many, are actually predicting how many bridges. That's referring to the bridges that get to Bowser's Keep. There's the map part, but there's always the bridges. They could be 0, could be 1, could be up to 4. Basically, the amount of movements from the pipe to the castle.
Ooh, that's 2 in that first
double hockey sticks, actually.
Ooh, that's a messy hand bridge.
That is a messy hand bridge. We got a tank to take care of, so we are obviously going to be doing that first.
Yeah, because
and this was the regular tank level, which is now an action level, as you can see.
Yeah, it's 3-6, but Human Mustard got caught and takes a death. Use a cloud, so has to play the level that he skipped, which in this case is the Sky Beta that I affectionately call Sky Speedway, because all you're doing is just running. Pro A getting caught by the hand, and it's 2-3, and wants no part of it.
Does a U-turn, and more
hand says,
no.
No,
you're doing it. You are doing it. Pro says,
and
nope.
Pro's like, yeah, I'm doing it all right. I'm taking a trip down this pit. Mustard taking another death.
By the way, DLP had the beta for World 1.5. Does a U-turn, checks the pipe. More Dark World shenanigans, more pipage.
Pro got through. Rather, the hand let him through.
Lock. Good call there. More pipe check. You know, eventually we're going to find the keep. Which I think looks like that keep might have been on the hand bridge. And we need a bridge. One bridge.
One bridge, and there's an action scene panel guarding the end.
So we got an action scene, and you have to break a lock.
And DLP just found out that anchor was a cloud. Right at the end, heading into 3F2.
1 fort is required. Which one it is? Well, DLP is about to find out. He's in 1 right now. Probably doing the checks as well in HE double hockey sticks. Mini guy about to enter, or is in the search for Wendy's Island. So is Human Mustard.
Troy weighs his options and opts to go down the pipe. And for Mini Guy, we've got some pixel perfect jumps. That block that passes through is pixel perfect to Mario's height. So you can just literally mash the A button for some rapid jumping. There's a couple of us that actually love doing that, myself included. DLP in 6F2. Now with a tail, you can go for a strat called 6F2 fly, but it's one of the scarier strats to go for, vanilla or rando, because if your movement's not perfect and you don't bail out after the first section, you're taking a death. Troy cleared his fort, and whatever it did, we don't know. DLP, does DLP have it? No!
He does not.
I think it was whatever Pro A just cleared.
Pro might have the big advantage now. Because, yeah, I think that was one we have seen. Yeah. Pro's looking. He's looking. I believe he hasn't found the
That looks good.
He's looking good.
And it's good, but now he has to clear one. No, he doesn't. He has a cloud. He saved the cloud for the end, and now he's in the driver's seat.
He's got the hammer suit. The lasers are randomized. So is the pattern, the fireball pattern, and the crossing. We'll see what happens. We got a wild hot foot to contend with here. Probably in the lead in a big lead.
Force. That was the correct fort. Proy gets the everyman flip.
Goes top
One more
route.
clip. Not quite. He's going to take a few tries at this.
Yeah, nope. Decide to nuke it.
Now, this is where things can get dicey because fireball patterns and statue lasers are randomized in Gauntlet. Oh, he loses the hammer suit.
Goes, and there was a
laser.
Too.
Now on to Bowser. So
and
here's
probably going with plan B, duck and cover.
Yep, duck and cover. It's a really cool trick. Okay, that hit was probably intentional because those fireballs, as long as you're behind, basically the pixel that makes Bowser's toe, as long as you're behind that, you're fine. If you're in front of it, you are asking for trouble. Just
you're gonna have a bad time. At this point, it is simply a matter of we got a clip on DLP, but it does not matter. Pro A is going to finish first. We have the time on our hand. We'll give it to you via racetime.gg.
Here's Bowser for DLP. Get your GGs in chat for Pro A 007.
34:59, the second shy at 35. A great time.
Absolutely.
All things considered. And DLP is working his way now. There it is. DLP's going to finish. He's going to press up in a couple of seconds. Throw your GGs in the chat, obviously. Yeah, and we're done here. DLP's about to press up. And time, 35:51 for DLP. Pair of great times, actually.
Absolutely. Pair of great runs.
Now it's just a matter of time. Everyone else is in World 8, so it's just a matter of time for the other two. They're in the same fort, as a matter of fact, our Human Mustard and MIDI Guy. All things considered, great race.
We are now joined by DLP 316 GG. That was a great run.
Hey, thanks.
Very good race. How'd you find that scene, especially in the first couple of worlds?
What was that? I'm sorry?
How'd you find the race, especially with the first couple of worlds?
I didn't think they were too bad. Kind of long. All the worlds were just on the average side, I think. I got a bunch of hammers and there was like nowhere to use them. And I think in World 8 that was probably my undoing. I played all the forts. As soon as that Air Force didn't break that lock, I thought I was good, but I forgot I broke something with a hammer, so then I had to go all the way back. At that point, I pretty much knew that somebody was gonna beat me by a little bit, but, well, GG's to Proa.
Yeah, what Pro 8 did is he wound up just picking the right fort off the bat. It's like he was mulling over his options, and then the option he picked just happened to be the correct one. His Human Mustard enters Air Force.
He was in that fork in the road. He just picked the right side in that case, because until then it was neck and neck.
Yeah, I thought I felt like I was in the lead or almost in the lead just because of how things sort of panned out in the beginning. I got a mushroom from the Hammer Brother that let me do the 7-6 clip, without a tail or anything like that, whereas the other option was you had to play it or go to the Toad House, so I thought I had a little bit of a lead there, and then just some other places where I decided to, World 4, chose the right fort, and then just how I used my items, I felt like I was close to the lead, but I'm not surprised that I ended up losing after the way I did World 8.
Brian's about to join us. As a matter of fact, he's getting set up right now.
And we got two runners in Bowser's Castle. It's basically going to come down to, will Midi Guy get there with enough time? Will Human Mustard
all he
keep his
needs
hammer
is to get up
screwed?
there and get that clip. Speaking of clips, here's Probably who tried that clip earlier.
Yeah.
That was some bad fireballs there, bad.
Oh, well, it was one of those seeds where, it seemed like there were plenty of obstacles to be had here.
Yeah, I have to actually have to take off. Proa, GG's, congrats on the win. And
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks for the commentary, everybody.
No problem.
Guys, have a good one.
All right, GG's. Meanwhile, we got a photo. Whoa, Midi
We
Guy.
have a photo finish for third.
Strat. Mustard gets the hammer kill. Get your GG's in chat, as Mustard's going to take third on Restream. Midi Guy right behind him. Holy smokes.
Yeah, here's the disparity. It's only by a few seconds, but here it is. Human Mustard 37 official race time.gg time, and Midi Guy, he presses up 39.50.
GG's. Wow, what a finish. Not the closest I've seen, but that was a really good finish.
Great race with the seat in consideration, actually.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, it was certainly fun, Pro A. What the difference was at the end, and we were telling DLP this, is that you wound up picking the fort that happened to be the correct fort.
Yeah, and that was just me just kind of throwing caution to the wind at that point because, I dedicated to play 3-6, so I was like, okay, well, might as well run this string out and see what happens, and this time it worked out pretty well. And once I saw that the 3 locks were still in place, I knew I had it, I just had to find the right pipe at that point.
Actually, it was a good thing you played 3-6 because that other pipe was a pipe to nowhere.
So that worked out pretty well then, but yeah, and overall, I haven't really touched this since July, so tonight was actually my first time really getting back into the swing of things, and I think in some respects it was actually a good thing because I was able to just kind of, not really have to, have all that sort of like ingrained muscle memory. It was basically running on instinct the whole night, and yeah, it worked out pretty well. So I didn't think I'd win, but that's a good start for me and getting back into this.
Yeah, it was close, and it looked. And from the sounds of it, we were all a little rusty. I screwed up the whole thing about how to get to the goal.
Yeah,
I think we all. Yeah, pretty sure we were all rusty to some degree tonight. And we are now joined by Midi Guy DP. GG.
GG. Oh, what a run that was. This seed reminded me I need to be more vigilant in World 4 and observe where the lock actually is better before I take chances with clouds.
Well,
boy.
I upon reflection, I misplayed that and got away with it because I ended up I technically backtracked, but it worked out. But it's like probably shouldn't have done. Not like most of the time, you really shouldn't do that, but in this case, it worked out.
Yeah, in my case, I went to for some reason it registered in my head that the lock was actually it was impeding progress. So that told me that fort at the beginning was like, okay, that has to break that lock. So I felt okay, it's safe for me to use these clouds and do the other fort. And it just didn't register in my head that actually the lock was not impeding progress, and then it was actually a huge gamble, and I paid for it dearly.
Well, yeah, we've all been there. It's one of those things, but yeah, it's like I could, yeah, some of the routing I did, I probably wouldn't normally do. I was just kind of just going after
for
it.
a little bit. We could tell you were winging it for a little bit there.
Same.
Which is not a bad thing per se. It's just, you know.
First night back, it's like, whatever, just go for it.
Yeah, pretty much. I felt like I was getting probably behind, so when I got to World 3, I just went. I didn't even check any other pipes. I just used my hammers to break those rocks, and just went into the pipe. And of course, none of those 4 pipes in World 3 brought you to Wendy. Of course, it had to be the one all the way the other end. I mean, I still skipped the fort, but yeah, could have been better there.
Such as it is, but. Yeah. So overall, not bad. Good. It was good to be back. I haven't streamed in 8 weeks, so it was good to be back. Good to just kind of get back into the rhythm of things again. And I'm looking forward to the next couple of qualifiers. I won't be here for the next one, life stuff, but I'm looking forward to seeing how these shake out.
Yeah, same here. And you're not the only one who's not going to be here for the next one, because I won't be for some other plans that were made, but it'll be good times.
Yeah, this will be a good tournament. I hope. The last couple have been very good, and we have some new faces in the crowd, so hopefully they enjoy this, and and we can hopefully still get more people into this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I love that personally. As would all of us, mind you.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Last I checked, we had 13 people in the field, and we're up to 14 now. Good. If we can get if we get 16, that'd be a good number. I think that's how many we had. I think that's how many we had last year. It was somewhere around there.
Yeah, nice even 16.
And just then, S. Diesel, who finished 3rd in our Challenge Cup tournament, held alongside the last main tournament, finished with it in 5th place with a time of 44 minutes 57 seconds.
Still a pretty decent time. You could tell where the routing selections could have gone wrong, obviously.
For sure. I felt like I did my usual starting. I usually start with a rocky start, and of course I take a death in the first level. That mac and cheese in the 7-6 after I had to go get to the mushroom house. That made up for it, though. I was pretty happy with that.
I second tried 7-6, and I think it took me about 11 tries, I think, in 7-1, but then in practice, that's about how many tries it took in 7-1, so, it's always one of them that gets you.
Yeah. I was really hoping for, double mac and cheese. That would have been a first for me. I don't think I've ever actually done that. The best is probably, twice on one level and 3 tries in another or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's the tail, and I think the best I've done with the tail is 6 tries or something, which is that's something else. Mac and cheese with a tail? Now that's
that would have been hype. That would have been hype.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's something I tend to have pretty good luck in somehow. It's just mac and cheese with a tail, no big whoop.
Some people are good. Some people, they need to lose a tail.
Speaking of losing a tail, when I saw Piranha Ford, I was like, okay, let's hang on to this tail. Do whatever you can to hang on to this tail.
Yeah.
And I was not disappointed. Well, I think I had a backup item anyway, but I could almost always expect Fort Knox in the same world, 80%.
And speaking of, now that you mention it, 3 of you wound up having a tail or a P-Wing heading into Fort Knox. It was amazing.
Yeah, I guessed that it was going to be 7F1, so it's like, yep, it's time for the tail. So it's time for the P-Wing, so it worked out.
Yeah, and I mean, we could have checked the pipe just to see if, check the pipe beforehand to see where it took us. Though I'm like, okay, it's almost surely gonna be Fort Knox, so we might as well just do this now. It'll probably save a transition. It's almost guaranteed, and it worked out.
Wound up being a paradox pipe, no matter how you took it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Either way.
All right. Well, GG's mini guy, and GG's to all the runners, and thanks Leslie and Maddie for getting the comms going on this puppy. So
Great.
see you
Happy
all
to
next
break the
couple
ice
weeks.
with you guys, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good to be back. As always, thanks for racing. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks,
yeah, likewise
thanks, guys.
here.
That's it. On behalf of everybody here at Speed Gaming and the people running this beautiful thing and the racers and all that stuff, we do thank you very much for tuning in and saying hi. We got another one coming up next weekend. I'll be in the chat for sure. I don't know who will be doing the commentary, but they will be happy to meet you as well. On behalf of everybody here, my name's Matt. On behalf of Leslie Pro, my name's Matty J. So long for the Mushroom Kingdom.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Take care.